I'm Bridget, and I have been attending St. John's of Cathedral for, about a year and a half. And I initially started attending online during the course of the pandemic when a lot of things were still locked down or restricted. And like a lot of folks, I was feeling pretty isolated at the time and going through a lot of transitions and really looking for a place of spiritual nourishment and a place to be part of a community. And I was really drawn to St. John's through the beauty of the music, in the online liturgies. I loved getting to know the preachers and their different styles, their senses of humor, and starting to feel like I was very connected to real people through this online ministry that St. John's offered. And when I started coming in person, it felt like I was already coming home.
My name is Stefan Burris. I am an almost lifelong member of St. John's Cathedral. I started coming here when I was 2. Many of you might know my parents, Sandy Mazarakis and Neil Burris. They've been coming a very long time as well. And I serve on the Finance Committee and also the Campus Stewardship Task Force. So, as a lifelong member of St. John's Cathedral, I know what has kept me coming here, but what was it that drew you in?
Well, there was actually a really personally significant moment for me because my starting attending the in-person service coincided with the reopening of the nave.
Right.
After the HVAC system was completed.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up in a Byzantine Catholic family.
Oh, wow.
But I went to a Roman Catholic school, and I grew up with this icon screen in front of the altar.
Right.
I was told that was the Holy of Holies. That was what they called it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had such utmost respect and awe for that space. And when I came to St. John's and I saw that we were all led to receive Eucharist, past that gateway, past that threshold, that screen,
right,
and that the entire community was invited into that intimate communion with God together.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, wow, this really is home. I really get to be part of something beautiful and profound.
Wow.
And what I love about this cathedral home that we have is that the very architecture itself invites us into contemplation with these numinous realities where God calls us to be right there up close in person.
Nice.
It's just this experience of being welcomed. It led me to really think about these thresholds that we have. I know there's a lot of folks in our community that might feel like this cathedral is in some way enshrined away from them. Like they're not welcome. Like folks that are homeless or lower income might not feel like this community, like these thresholds are open to them. And I guess I've got this curiosity of how do we create thresholds that are invitations rather than walls between us and the rest of the community.
So as a member of the Campus Stewardship Task Force, we're really focused on how we can engage the local community and neighborhood and bring them in relationship with our community here at St. John's Cathedral. So that's interesting to hear you say that you felt welcomed in that way, to be more intimate with God, because that's really what we're looking at, not so much internally in the cathedral, but on our campus in in general. So
Yeah.
looking at utilizing our green space in different ways to be more community focused and used as a gathering space. If not adding to our green space, there are other opportunities that we know of that could include potentially real low-income housing. We are looking at other options that could include more community-focused needs, specifically here in Capitol Hill, but also just our initiatives that we have locally that include homeless initiatives and other items that we've been working on for years at the Cathedral, but we know that we can utilize our assets in a different way to really help further that mission.
You know, I'm just so excited to hear you talk about how we can really open up this space so that anyone who comes off the street from Capitol Hill can feel the same welcoming embrace that I felt on that day when I walked through this cathedral doorway for the first time.
Yeah, I feel at home whenever I come in to St. John's Cathedral. I grew up in this community. However, I do know that sometimes it can be quite intimidating, potentially. So finding ways to really lower the walls, lower the barriers, and make people feel more welcome coming in and coming into our community, I think is really vital for the future of our church.
You know, what I love about my role serving at Wilderness is that I get to see all these amazing people coming up to receive Eucharist. And I see people that I see every week, and I know they've been coming here forever. And then I see people that come up to me kind of nervously and say, I don't remember how to do this. I haven't been to church in a very long time. And I'm just so honored that they trust us, that they show up and they're, willing to be vulnerable. And it's just something that's important to remember. We see new people coming in every week. Right. And we might not know who they are. And we have so many opportunities to help them feel welcome, like they could potentially have a home here.
I'm so glad that people feel welcomed coming through our front doors, not only from the community, but greater Metro Denver. And that's really our mission. That's what we're trying to do every day at St. John's Cathedral. And so I'm hoping that we can continue that mission moving forward and continue to invite more people to come through the doors and join our community.
I just feel so blessed to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Thank you.